Two unemployed actors. Two unemployed actors. They're just between projects.
Welcome back to Two Unemployed Actors. I'm Max.
I'm Sam.
And we have a Christmas special for you. For those of you enjoying the YouTube, yes, we're wearing our Santa hats because we're well into the festive spirit without alcohol at this stage, but getting there.
It's unfortunate.
It's too early in the day here. It's
Ignore.
night time somewhere. We'll be right.
Oh, yeah, true.
So really today, it's about the year that was, what happened, what was good, what was bad.
It's already been a year.
I know.
Crazy.
What's coming up for next year? What are our plans?
Mm-hmm.
Fred is going to get involved. And starting off with how I'm so sore from this morning. I went to pack the dishwasher.
Mm-hmm.
Big job. I'm holding a plate in my right hand, which isn't my good hand. I'm left-handed.
Yeah.
Drop it. I go to catch it with the left hand. Great catch. But the shoulder.
No.
I'm just like, oh. And an hour and a half later, where am I? At the physio.
Oh, no.
So I've now graduated to having to take painkillers before I go to the physio. That's the level of, I'm moving forward. That's progression now. All the nerves are coming back and they've got their feeling.
Okay, good.
And it feels like shit. But that's progress.
Yeah.
Oh,
These feelings come
anyway, I think we've established what my worst of the year is. Anyway, so
Debatable.
For me, so worst of the year, Sam mentioned that perhaps maybe it's my acting, not the Vespa crash, but no.
Yeah, so we were going through like, what's the best part of the year, worst part of the year? Vespa Crash was on the list. I thought that was a bit debatable.
One of the short
Could've been
films,
some
maybe.
acting. Yeah.
I'll just go.
Follow him on Instagram.
Okay.
I do see it, all of it.
I'm going to start with. I had a big Instagram fail yesterday. I put a snippet of one of my films, a nice little snippet, about 6 seconds. Uploaded it, heaps of likes. Getting all the attention. All the vanity stats are up there. Later on the day, I realised it's just the image. It wasn't it's at the top of my head. I'm on the desk looking down. And that's
really?
it. It wasn't the film.
Oh.
So I reposted because I thought, what the hell? I'll leave it there and just repost the act because I'm lazy. But reposted and it actually worked the second time where I've got the film. So if you're looking through my Instagram,
you probably just uploaded an image accidentally, or like a freeze frame.
Probably or definitely, I think is probably definitely. There's a 99% chance that it was me, and 1% Instagram.
1%.
The bloody algorithm.
Probably. Yeah.
Seriously, sort that, Mr. Instagram. Who owns Instagram now? Facebook. Oh, they're in everything. Not our podcast. We're fiercely independent.
Hell yeah. We own ourselves.
We do.
Jokes, Max owns
Best of last year.
The Social Network. I actually saw that the other day. Have you seen that?
Did you?
It's a good film.
It's good.
Yeah.
Sarah Snook's in that.
Who?
Sarah Snook. I went to see her Q&A. Australian actress. She's starring in Succession.
Okay.
Which has been booked for a third season. They had
Okay.
the second season this year. Fantastic show. She's got a great lead in that.
Was it
I
the
love her
Succession?
character. Succession, yeah. But she was in Joan of Arc, obviously in the lead at the Sydney Theatre Company. And I think it might have been Stage Milk or one of the local production education. You know how there's 1,000
Stage
schools
Milk.
in Sydney that teach people how to act. But they had a Q&A and it was like 20 of us and Sarah was there. That was when she was in rehearsals.
Who did she play in Social Network?
Like a PA. And she said one particular scene was really hard for her where she was standing at the back of this huge auditorium.
Yeah.
And, the Zuck's up there presenting. And there was a cue from down there that she had to take, an audible cue, to then get out her line. And the way they'd set up the shot, it was just this huge wide, like it was close in for the stage, then it goes wide, then close in for her. So it wasn't like, okay, we'll just cut and film her section, okay, action and say your line. She had to try and hear through this huge auditorium.
Oh, really?
This cue
God.
that was kind of a challenge. And you really don't want to be that person, right? It's a big budget, decent, there's crew on crew and there's an auditorium full of extras and you're that person.
Who just misses their cue. Yeah.
Don't be that person. Anyway, but she was great in Joan of Arc on stage. Fantastic. Okay. And I saw she was at the Actors, not this year, last year when I went. I didn't go this year, so of course I didn't see her this year, which was great. Anyway, I'm distracted again, as happens.
That's okay. It's all
It
about
must have been the hit on the head from the Vespa fall. So
the
for me,
smoke outside.
the smoke. Yeah,
A
if
lot
you're
of
not in
smoke.
Sydney, we have a lot of bushfires surrounding the city, and thoughts go out to everyone affected, immediately affected. We're like secondary affected because we're just dealing with the smoke,
Yeah.
which, to be fair, is better than dealing with flames. But it's like literally like 30 packs a day, 30 cigarettes a day or something. I'm feeling like I'm smoked a whole packet of cigarettes at the end of the day without any of the benefits of smoke.
Just don't go outside.
No, there are
Any
no
of the
benefits. There are no benefits of smoke. Oh my god.
We're not sponsored by
Tobacco advertising.
God.
Oh.
No.
I think I better just look at my notes for a change. Lead in Deadly Women. For me, that was awesome. Where it's the real deal. Maxie's paid to act. Lookout World. US accent. Different. Good character. Built on
Roll the
real
highlights.
life. Real. Yeah.
We
Roll
should
the
have-
highlights.
we
I haven't
should
even
have,
seen
like-
it yet. I think it comes out next year. Early next year.
Oh.
Episode 7.
I think
of
this-
season 13. I think.
This episode of Two Unemployed Actors, we should just cut and chop
Cut and chop.
our whole year.
Yeah. We can
together
do
with, like,
bits and
multiple
pieces.
things, like laughs.
Oh
Just
my
the
God.
laughs. And then
It's the
like,
4 hour special. No, there weren't that many laughs. No, I'm joking.
Oh,
It's
God.
the 4 minute special. So
do
that was really good because that was like my 4th time over 2 years working with that production company. So
Yes.
I was really excited. It was a great character, but again, based on real life. So I had to sort of watch my step a bit too because, I don't want to.
Yeah.
It was a difficult period in this guy's life.
Yeah.
Having Fred
That was so loud.
destroying his bed in front of me. Mate, not everybody. I
Right
know
into
you've
the
heard the
mic.
story before, Fred, but hang in there. Bit of a rough patch, I'd say, he went through, considering the woman he was dating was actively trying to off and stalk the other woman he was dating. He was like Tindering, whatever it was, swiping left or right, whatever's a good way, whatever the good way
Yeah,
is.
I think right's good.
Right, and
Not sure I never used
it was open and transparent with everyone. Nothing serious. And one of them decided that although she said nothing serious, it was very serious, and she didn't like the other woman spending time with him, so she killed her. Very
Fun.
exciting episode of Deadly Women. He doesn't get killed for a change. The guy is alive because I've been that. No, I haven't been. I've been the killer and I've been the policeman, but I haven't been the dude at the center of it all.
The dude.
The dude.
That's
Dave,
your
the
break. That's the
philanthropher.
break. You gotta be that.
So yeah, it was good. How about you? Because you've had a busy year too.
Yeah. No. We met this year, didn't we? Yeah, we did, didn't we?
Obviously, that's the best of for you.
I think that is
meeting me. Clearly,
Yeah, it's the best.
okay, let's put that aside because clearly that's the winner.
I think it's
the
the winner
next
of
best.
the worst part of my year.
You
And then
keep
it
turning up.
continues
What a trooper.
every week.
Signing up for torture.
Every week.
I told you might need therapy coming on board, but hey,
Oh,
all
good.
part of the
Not
journey.
physiotherapy. That's it.
no, I need physical therapy. That's torture.
No. So I have. Yeah. I don't know. I've had a lot of.
What's like a standout
I wasn't
for
briefed
you?
before this episode. I don't know,
Was it
this kind of thing.
something? Yeah, you were like 30 seconds before I pressed record. Was there something in particular that surprised you in the year that you thought you'd never get the opportunity to do, or you'd have to wait long for? Or?
Oh, the short film is definitely a highlight.
Yeah?
100%. Yeah. So the most
can't
recent
wait
short
to
film I
see
did.
that.
I can't wait for you to see it.
Yeah, well, when you have talked it up quite extensively.
Yeah.
so,
Well,
no.
it felt good.
Over promise, under deliver. No. I'm really looking forward to that because it's got a strong message, and I think that's important. Mental
So
health
prevent
with young
suicide
people, it's
prevention.
like massive.
Definitely.
So I think that's really good, and such a lot of responsibility too.
100%. And it was. So I think that's definitely a highlight. What's that? I don't even know. The
I
rest
reckon-
part of my year.
I
don't even
reckon.
know.
I reckon just watching you working the surviving those 2 musicals at once
Okay. Yeah.
and the rehearsals
Yeah.
at that rehearsal stage.
That's the thing. Like, even though like that was tough and it was hard work and we were tired. Like, that's what I wanted to.
Yeah.
I want to do. So the worst part.
Suffering.
I
from
think it
rash.
has to be meeting you. It has to be now.
Yeah, absolutely. I just ruined that one.
No, that was great. I remember our lunch at whatever down near there.
The cafe
Yeah,
in
the
Bondi
cafe place.
Junction. It was the chemistry test,
Mm-hmm.
and also to see if you can string more than a few words together.
Oh yeah.
I think the worst bit for me was obviously, well, obvious to those people who listen to the falling off the Vespa. I'd say falling off, really. I was hit by a crazy
Falling.
Subaru driver
Yeah.
on my way to the stage where I missed one matinee
Yep.
of my wonderful play with songs.
And
But,
they loved the performance.
they
that
loved
night.
it. I know. Oh, Michael was great. Guy was great. They filled in at the last minute. They were. I'm like, guys, I'm right here.
There must have been some problems.
Right here.
No, it went perfectly.
That doesn't help. That was the icing on the worst. So definitely breaking my shoulder, which has
Yeah.
affected a bit of
That's
my work since then.
Fair enough.
Especially trying to do relaxed, relatable voiceovers while your shoulder's aching. That's quite interesting. It's like 1 an hour.
Should do like a shoulder commercial or something. Like shoulder pain.
I could, but I'd only be the before. I wouldn't do
You wouldn't be the after.
couldn't do the after guy. Look, it's actually healed me. Oh, damn it, it hasn't. So
I think my worst
definitely
part
the worst. What's
has
yours?
to be
You've blacked it out.
I
It's
mean-
so bad. You just
the Cancer Council thing, which was fun, but getting up early, doing this Cancer Council shoot in the freezing cold,
Oh, you
acting
had to
like
get in
it
the
was
pool,
summer.
didn't you?
Well, feet in the pool.
Feet in the pool. Oh
But
well.
the water was warmer.
Frostbite in your toes.
The water was warmer than the outside air. It was so cold.
Yes.
And I was like, if I wasn't getting paid, I'd not be doing this. I don't know.
Suffer
Why
for
I
that.
wouldn't have applied if I wasn't.
Imagine
but
filming something like Titanic, where basically the entire shoot's involving cold water around you,
yeah. Well, it's not.
hypothermia.
It's
anyway.
not actually cold.
Mind you, I'd take a job
pretty
on
warm.
Titanic 2, the sequel.
Titanic 2, the sequel. They make a new boat.
Yeah, Clive Palmer, isn't he building
Yeah.
a replica Titanic? He
I've
said he
heard
was.
that.
He threw a party and everything.
Who the fuck-
Party makes it real.
Who the hell is going to go on it?
And I reckon for next year,
Hell
big
yeah.
for me is really making sure everything's lined up from mid-January onwards.
Yes.
So like I've got like a social media plan. I've got all my reels edited, fresh, everything's cut, ready to go. Had a meeting with the agent, so we're all aligned on what's ready, what I need ready versus what I have to do to get ready, and just be absolutely 100% ready for
Yeah.
any opportunity.
Yes, I think my plan is I'm going to get new headshots, which I definitely
Okay.
need, and just jump straight back into it.
Yep.
Keep contacting my agent, keep applying for stuff.
Yep.
I think what we need to do
Yeah.
is try and get sponsors
Yep.
for Unemployed.
Probably gonna try and get listeners first.
I know, but here's the thing, right? You and I are both sharing so much.
Yes.
Just trying to figure out.
We could share more brand names if they pay us. Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. No, yeah, so we'll grab more listeners. Obviously, Too Unemployed will be like new in 2020. new
Yeah.
and
And I
improved.
think I'm going to judge the intro titles and a few other bits and pieces.
Yeah, we'll change it up.
Some plans.
We'll do a
Some
new
plans.
intro. We can do a new sound stuff. We can add some music to it if we want.
I think that leads me to the next big thing is really driving my social media, like having a social media strategy, you know, Max the Actor, but also the podcast especially,
Yeah.
just having a real plan around how invest in driving listeners. Because, there's 700,000 podcasts. If anyone has the magic answer, by all means, share. But you're one of so many of them, and it takes a long time to build up. I think
but we get in
the
there.
biggest sign of success is making it to episode, 22?
Yeah.
Like
maybe,
most
yeah.
of them don't go past episode 7. I remember saying that, like we're
I
doing
know, I
episode
remember
7.
saying that. Yeah.
But
Right, excuse me.
it's a long time ago.
okay.
Keep it together, Fred. So social media, because I think more people we
Yeah.
drive engagement there,
Yeah.
the more they're exposed to what it's all about. And I think we've identified in the listeners that we have and the demographics on our Facebook as well as on podcast platforms, a lot of American listeners, which is great.
That's good.
We
as
welcome
well.
everyone.
North
Actor's
American,
journey
isn't
is universal, and two different sort of markets really in terms of people wanting to find out a bit more about what happens behind the scenes,
Yeah.
what it's really like.
Hopefully they can understand your Bogan accent. but-
Hopefully. And the other market is, other up and coming actors just feeling
Yeah.
like, because it's a lonely journey sometimes.
I know. I do have a lot of friends that are listening, but I don't know if
That's
they're
good.
constantly.
Both of them, you sound got two friends. And
Sorry, my
I-
my friend.
one of them's imaginary,
My
but that's okay, still
friend,
counts.
Yes.
Um,
And it is that one.
But I think that's an important one because it does feel lonely. Like up and coming, you're working real hard for any break, any opportunity,
Yeah.
and creating opportunities even, and
Yeah.
it can feel like you're on your own as you fall down every now and then. Lots of no's. It's like getting job interviews every
Yeah.
week, and
You just
getting
got to
no's
push
all
on.
the
That's what
time.
separates you from actors who are still
Exactly.
going and people who've given
Exactly.
up, you got to keep going.
And sharing tips and tricks and things, and we're
Mhm.
open too if anyone wants to share what's worked for them.
Mm-hmm.
So get ready for next year to be a lot more interactive.
Mhm.
I'm going to continue the social media
Yes.
across the break.
I think the director of the short film I just did wants to come on here anyway, so we'll
Good.
grab
Is
some
this
more
the guy who
guests
slapped
as
you?
well. No, it wasn't the director didn't slap me.
That was horrible.
Remember your line.
What the do you think you're doing?
Yeah. No. It's okay.
It was the
It's
other
not
guy.
him. It was
It's the other guy.
my co-star.
I think as we build,
We'll get people.
certainly in the early part of next
Mhm.
year, we'll keep the social media plan, build a lot more, and
Yeah.
then we've really got a case for people to come on
Definitely.
and share their story,
Definitely.
because there's so many aspects of it, from trying to work out the nuances of the art to business behind the scenes.
Yeah, we'll delve deeper into detail. I know we've said that before and we did a little bit, but we'll do more of that next year as well.
We will have a plan.
Yeah.
So by the end of, we will have a plan, and the plan won't be
Talking about
to
Russell
finish
Crowe's
the
tree.
plan.
Oh, sorry.
The plan and won't be about talking about my shoulder.
Yeah. We're going to get back in.
I might be
It's
over
going
it
to
by
go
then.
exciting episode for you.
So by the end of January, I'll put up on the site a plan for the next few months, so you can sort of see what we're going to be talking about. That way you know what you're sort of looking forward to.
Exactly. So this is so if we haven't mentioned this yet, but this is our last episode for this year. We'll come back in
We'll still be sharing. We'll still be
sharing a lot of stuff.
Social media will be thriving.
Yeah.
If anything, because we're not catching up, I don't have to edit and all that sort of stuff. I've got more time to share.
Yeah. I'll write a new jingle and pop it up as well.
Not sure about that. But,
Let's do that. Let's do that one.
I'll get Fred to sing along.
Yeah.
I think next year's going to be interesting. Like all the stuff we put in. I feel like it's made me work a bit harder too.
What,
like,
2 Unemployed Actors?
Yeah. Like it's,
You had
well, I
to.
mean, not just trying to record and edit the podcast, but I think it's made me work a bit harder because it's like one of the few times where I'm actually externalizing. I'm putting out there my plans.
Yes. So
Like,
you have to get it done. Otherwise.
I'm going to, and it makes me sit down even better, think about what it is that I need to do
There we go.
and what's important and what's not important.
No, same.
I think without the weekly check-ins, it's kind of like our weekly whips.
It is a little bit.
Without that, I probably wouldn't have been as driven on certain things.
There we go.
So
It's a good thing. Listen to our
Wow.
podcast and you guys will be driven too.
listen and literally act along, and you too can be. No, it's been good. It's added value in that respect. I haven't really driven I tell you what I've driven. What's worked? Like I've had a lot of producers and casting directors and on LinkedIn. LinkedIn's been an interesting driver for me. I sort of really didn't think about it much. Coming from a corporate background, there's 500 plus connections, all corporatized, blah blah blah. But I shared a couple of interesting things across a few platforms, but it just got a massive engagement on LinkedIn. Like you'd see people who I'd never met before playing, liking, commenting, and checking out my profile.
Good. Yeah, nice.
And following, which is good, which is new. And you have to actually connect. You just sort of follow me, which is like you're in the shadows, kind of creepy, but it's still there. And I think so. That increased my engagement on LinkedIn myself. So I was posting a bit more and a bit more frequently. So a few more casting directors and producers, directors. So really, it's kind of like, don't forget there is a business behind it. We know that, and we're exposed to a part of it. But LinkedIn's just another great platform where, it's not an everyday update, obviously, but when you've got a meaty one about your journey and what's worked, what hasn't, or whatever, don't forget to share it there. So social media is going to be a huge part of next year. I mean, look, not that we did nothing on social media, but I think I'll just be a bit more strategic about it. Like have a plan and make sure that makes... Because really, you can have a plan and there's so many software... Fred, get off the deck.
Jesus Christ,
DJ Fred in the house. So, there's so many software programs you can use to help you plan. So you can spend a day, not a day, you can spend a few hours in one day lining up all your social media posts for the week.
Yes.
And plan them out. So that's been kind of... I've done that every now and then, but really it's getting the time to do that to save the time.
Yeah. Yeah, no, definitely.
Me and my planning. I mean, procrastinating. So anyway, so it's going to be good fun. Have you got anything else for this year? Amazing
Well,
stuff.
I'm happy with this year. I'm happy how everything's gone. And, of course, 2 Unemployed Actors has been a great achievement and a great continue.
It's good. We're doing something. And
Yeah.
it's great when we get feedback every now and then. It makes it real.
Yeah, it is really good. And people are listening, even though we keep talking about we need more. We do have listeners.
It doesn't matter. Even when we get to 1 million,
Yes.
I'll still be saying we need more. I'm typical. It's a sales guy in me. He's still
our
there.
LA studio.
He's smaller. He's got a small voice, but he's still there. Sales guy wants growth. All right. Well, thanks for listening to Unemployed. This is our last for the year. Make sure
Last for
you
2019, guys.
keep following us on social so you know when we're back.
Subscribe.
Mid to late Jan.
Enjoy.
And subscribe, share. All
Have a great
that
holiday.
cool
Merry
stuff.
Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. All that stuff.
Festive season. You're listening to Max
And Sam.
and to Unemployed Actors.
See you guys.
Bye.
2 unemployed actors.
So I think if we focus on Fred's
Hey.
in love with you. That's just
Fred, hey.
disgraceful, Fred. Come on, I'm right here,
I'm
mate.
here,
I
I'm
can
here.
see you.
This is the best part of my year.
Meeting Fred, hugging a dash hound.
Mm-hmm.
Love it.